Michelle, just a quick question for you.
I'm not going to get the reference. Go ahead.
Do your balls hang low? Do you swing them to and fro?
Oh my God.
Do you tie them in a knot? Do you tie them in a bow? Do you throw them around your shoulder like a continental soldier? Do your balls hang low?
Yes, they do.
I love it.
Thank you.
Wow, that was intense.
What are we supposed to do with that? I don't know what we're supposed to do with that.
That was a surprise attack.
Carlito, I got you to my right now because we've got a full house on the
You're
show.
to my left.
That's how it is. So we have Anthony and we have Michelle. What are we going to talk about, guys?
Besides ourselves, I think we should talk a little bit about the real estate and what's going on. How do you guys feel about that?
I feel great about that. I want to
love
talk a
real
lot
estate.
about that. So right off the bat, let's get rid of all this paperwork. Real estate, to get a hold of you, Anthony, is at thecaputogroup.realestate.
That's Instagram, yes.
That's Instagram, on Instagram, right? So website is www.thecaputogroup.ca.
That's it.
And then to email you, it's Anthony at thecaputogroup.ca, and a phone number to get rid of, a phone number to get a hold of you, 416-938-7771. And then Michelle, I'm going to have to spell this one out. So IG, it's MLFARRUGIA
Yes.
on Instagram. And then you can also catch you at, also on Instagram, right? So cognitive.capital. And also the website is also
You got it.
You got it. COGNITIV.capital, guys. That's who we have here. We're going to talk a lot about real estate. We're going to talk a lot about broker mortgage and like
Mortgages, real estate.
You know what? I think we should focus more on, first-time buyers trying to get in.
Well,
that's huge.
We're always talking about guys in construction, and one of the things that they don't have is a retirement plan. So we're always trying to push purchasing property or, buying a house. So this is great.
Can we get along? How about the first segment that Carlito?
It's history with Manny.
Take a guess what we're going to talk about in history.
Construction history?
No. I want to know from you guys, what's the average cost of a house today in Toronto, Canada?
Detached.
Yes. Take a guess. Take a stab.
890.
No. 867,900.
Did you just Google it?
So somebody's cheating, right?
Somebody-
So somebody's cheating, but I've got 929,633.
Wow. It's crazy.
It actually fell recently, and obviously it fell because the world's a little messed up these days. That's not the end of this whole situation. I need to ask you guys, what were homes back in the 2000s? The average price of a Toronto home in 2000.
Let's go with 450,000.
250.
Wow. That's a huge jump.
Let's go further back. 1990.
Go
140.
80,000.
Same price, 250.
Ah.
There was a little bit of dip between the 1990s to the 2000s. That 10 years, there was a little bit of dip. It
From
went down
where?
to
From the
200.
90s?
Wow.
From 1990 to 2000, it dipped about 50,000.
Because there was a recession at that point.
In the
Exactly.
90s.
1980, guys. What was the average cost of a house in Toronto? 1980. I was 9 years old.
I wasn't born.
I wasn't
50,000.
50,000.
48.
He can actually see the answers.
No, I wasn't
No,
even
to
looking.
me that's
Was I
sheer
right?
confidence off
No,
the head.
it's 75K in
Oh.
1980.
Okay.
Okay, 1970s, guys. Average home.
Same.
No, 70s, 10 years earlier.
Oh,
Well,
I'd
I
have
don't
to
know.
go
We
with-
saw that in 2000.
People
so
spend more
back to
money
the
on
90s.
a car today.
Yeah, they're around the $45,000 mark.
At 40,000, 40,006, 41,000, right? 1960s. Average home in Toronto in 1960s.
16,000.
24,000, miss.
Wow. I wish.
And the 1950s. What was a house in Toronto, the average purchase price?
12 grand.
$16,900.
That's unbelievable.
In 1950.
Wow.
70 years ago.
Yeah.
You're paying more tax today on a house than you were paying for the entire house back in the 50s.
Can you imagine if everyone just held on to their properties?
Well, that's why we are doing this podcast, so we can educate people. And Carlito.
That was history with Manny. I wait for him to give me a little nudge.
Back to Anthony and Michelle. Let's get talking a lot about real estate. A lot.
Awesome. Where do you want to start?
You guys start. Where's
All right.
where's the start line, and we'll tell you guys where the finish line is.
You know what? Let's get the let's take the rabbit out of the hat. The real estate market is not crashing. Mm-hmm. It's not going to crash.
Who says it was crashing?
Pretty much every single person, every media station.
Were they wanting to crash?
Well, usually when you see the media putting out negativity about the real estate market, they're looking for a slowdown. That's the government's tool, I guess you could say, to get everyone a little petrified about the market, about the crash, and that's when you start seeing the market slow down.
But we're doing well. Like the bank rates are doing well. Canada was actually doing really well during the last fiasco, right? We didn't follow along with what the U.S. was doing, so we were actually happy with our government. Rates were good compared to what they were in the 80s and 90s, like 12%, 13%. And so you want people to buy these homes. But I just think that a lot of young people were buying homes that were too big for them or too expensive for them. Is that correct?
That's hard to say because regulations in terms of financing have changed so much. So defining what is affordable is completely different today even than it was in 2018, for example. But yeah, interest rates are at an all-time low today. But I think average house cost is up 3% over the last month.
Ooh, no, it's more. It depends on where you're looking at. I mean, in Toronto,
It's dropped. Like since COVID started.
No,
Transactions have dropped, but the
Transactions.
prices are absolutely staying strong, if not increasing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Toronto West, for example, 6.5% increase
What is the hot market right now in Toronto?
everywhere.
The whole city.
I literally,
When we talk Toronto, what are you talking?
I talk from Lakeshore all the way up.
Really?
Rexdale, for example, I was in a bidding war 2 weekends ago. 1,000 square foot bungalow.
I thought the whole media thing with what was going on in the world is that it became a buyer's market now because there was so much everything. You guys are shaking your head on a podcast. We need the volume. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Supply and demand. It's all supply and demand.
Really?
Everyone kept their house off the market.
Yeah.
And that literally added more fuel to the fire. And prices, one home in Rexdale sold $100,000 over asking, 17 offers.
But can I ask you, was that a homeowner or a contractor?
It was a homeowner.
It was.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was.
'Cause I can see builders and contractors buying property right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't. They're not going to Rexdale to tear down a home or renovate. Between you and I, they'd stick to say Mimico area.
Etobicoke, yeah.
But right now, I mean, everywhere I look, from Alliston, Ontario, all the way down to Toronto, you price your house right, you set it up to sell, and you're going to have a ton of people there ready to buy.
So what is setting it up to sell?
Proper pictures, proper staging, proper marketing, and you will have a lineup at your house.
I thought this is like the norm now. Isn't like everybody doing this?
You would be
now?
amazed. So
They don't do
many
that?
clients push back on staging or the correct marketing because they think about the costs up front.
But staging, okay, you guys tell us. It's not a lot of money, is it?
No, it is a lot of money. The last house I did
Yeah.
cost me $9,000.
Hang on, you guys don't.
Yeah.
Let me ask the professionals on the other side of the table. We're contractors. We're pretty, but we're
Yeah, but
contractors.
it cost me
okay?
$9,000.
Cost you $9,000 to stage a house?
Yeah.
Was he taken for a ride? Yes,
It
he
sold
was.
the house. I
Yes,
made
he
my
was.
money.
Were you
Downtown Toronto.
Downtown Toronto. Okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But did you have to buy all the furniture? I mean, did they supply
No,
all your furniture?
I just got a
You can-
stager, came in, staged it, and then at the end, they just took everything out.
Yeah, okay, but they brought a whole bunch of furniture there.
Yeah, it
Okay,
looked
that's
like a house.
That's a different story. You had a vacant home. Usually with the homes that I sell, they're not vacant.
You try to work with what they have, complement it, bring in some mirrors.
You don't have to go
rugs,
crazy.
smaller
I usually
things.
spend about $1,500 to $2,200.
Okay, that's good to
Like
know.
what, a 2,500 square foot home?
Yeah.
And it's worth it. And then professionally photograph it,
Absolutely.
right? Make it look like house in Pinterest.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You want to draw as many people to that listing as possible.
Well, you want to make it, spacious,
Yeah.
not so cluttered with garbage because people collect all kinds of stuff and just stick it in corners, right?
But here's the other question. Are you guys staging it for the demographic that you think is going to buy this property?
Absolutely.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
So if you know that this particular neighborhood is gearing towards, I don't know, that first baby millennial kind of thing coming in, you're going to start staging it for that kind of person.
That's right.
right? And then the same thing, if it's different baby boomers moving out or downsizing, it's the same thing. You got to focus on that.
We always direct, when we stage, we always go into each home and we'll know exactly who's going to buy this home. Just because they have old furniture in there, say an elderly couple is in there and they have elderly or old furniture, it doesn't mean that someone who is in their 20s, 30s won't purchase that home. So we always gear to who we know will buy this house.
That's important. That's
Yeah.
key, right? Well, we're all going to be old too, but I have no interest in that elderly furniture. I can't stand
Well,
elderly furniture.
something that's important to me, I always find, and it's going to sound really awful of me, but when I go into an older person's home, there's an old smell in there.
Oh,
Is that something you guys
I'm-
get rid of also? Is that part
that's
of that
gotta go.
staging?
There-
That's gotta go.
There's a machine that actually sucks.
Hey, I had to
All
say
of
it.
that
It's
out.
honest. It's true. I'm not gonna.
Is that smell similar
let's
to?
not tippy toe around
is
it.
Is that a similar smell to creation?
No, not at all. It would be like cevapcice. No.
Wait, hang on a sec. No, you're Italian. You're not Croatian, are you? Okay, good.
I'm
All right.
Maltese.
Okay.
Maltese, right?
You
He
gotta
likes
ask
to
your
tell me that I'm
parents.
Portuguese. Every single time he goes, "You're not Maltese, you're
Okay,
Portuguese."
so where were you born and where are your family from?
I was born in Georgetown, so I am Canadian.
You're a munja
But-
cake.
A proud Canadian. I like that.
I'm Canadian. My mom is German and my dad is Maltese.
But Maltese is not Portuguese, so where's the Portuguese?
There isn't.
He's just full of shit. You know what I mean?
But you're Italian.
I am Italian.
From?
I'm half Abruzzese, half Calabrese.
Oh no, we're in trouble today.
I'm a mutt, yeah.
Interesting. Now that we're offended a few groups here, let's get right back onto the old person smell.
Okay, well, let's
Paint
move
does
forward.
wonders.
You guys mentioned something that was interesting for me. What areas are young people buying homes in right now?
Wherever they can afford it. Honestly.
And what would areas like what?
No,
what would
here's the
areas be?
question. What should a 35-year-old man, woman, couple, whatever, buy? How much money should they spend? Realistically, guys.
Oh, that's such a loaded question.
Okay, so I know because you're selling it, right? But let's say for argument's sake, it's your kid, it's your sibling or somebody like that.
Bungalow.
They should be paying a bungalow, but how much should they be spending? Like, okay, so if they're making, let's say they're making, I don't know what they're, 80, 90 grand a year. What should they buy?
I'm detached
Yeah,
all day
always
long. Like
detached.
everybody's trying to squish themselves into condos. I think from a cost perspective, monthly, it doesn't make sense and it's unpredictable. You're paying so much money to be cooped up in this box. You have nowhere else to go. And then you have condo fees and you move in and maybe they're,
You guys tell me,
500
Toronto has
bucks
the
a month?
highest maintenance fees in the country?
yeah,
Hands down,
and then
even
age
higher
of the
than
building.
Vancouver?
Yeah,
Usually
I'd go that
property
far.
taxes are a little bit lower when the condo fees are higher, so it does kind of offset a little bit. But when you're comparing $1,900 a year in property taxes to $700 a month in condo fees, it doesn't really even out.
No, it
Like
doesn't.
versus a detached, that's maybe
insane.
$4,000-$5,000 a year in property taxes. Like you make that up in a couple months in your condo fees.
So how much should they spend? $1 million?
No, they
no,
don't have to.
no.
Less?
I'm
800?
personally, I'm buying a detached home. I don't care if it's a bungalow or not with a basement suite. I'm going to move a little bit outside the city. If I'm a first time home buyer, I'm going to make a little bit of that sacrifice.
Oshawa?
No, you don't have to go that far. I would go. I mean, you can go into Caledon very easily. 700,000. You can get a nice little bungalow.
So let's talk kilometers here because we do have people that listen outside of Toronto. But Oshawa is basically about an hour drive from the core of Toronto. Caledon is about an hour drive from the core of Toronto, right? So we're talking about 60 kilometers away from the core.
So when I say Caledon, I'm biased because I have rental properties there. I find that location obviously is huge. When you're buying a house, you want to make sure, and if you're going to be renting it, you want to make sure that the city isn't dependent on one industry. For example, Alliston, they have the Honda plant. In 2008, the Honda plant, when we had the recession, Honda really pretty much shut down, and everyone pretty much they all lost everything.
That's brilliant. That's actually
Right.
amazing that you said
So
that.
you want to be in a city that's not dependent on just one manufacturer or
Corporation.
a corporation,
Yeah.
right? So for me, I'd rather spend a little bit more money being closer to the GTA and have a good quality tenant that is making at least $100,000 a year.
That's like 2-3 times both you guys have said that, eh? You're buying properties with already planning to have a tenant.
Oh,
regardless.
absolutely.
Yeah. And you never sell that property. That is your retirement.
You know what? You're so right.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I sold all my properties and I'm kicking myself in the ass.
Yeah. Somebody else is paying your mortgage. Like the rental market is so expensive. So, even if you're not in a detached home and renting it out, even if you bought, a second property for yourself, like a condo downtown, you can charge rent that is more than your mortgage is every single month. Right? So properties, especially when they're kind of longer term investments, I feel like they used to be exactly that, long-term investments. But now they're both long and short-term investments. You can be in a positive cash flow position every single month. And long-term, somebody else is paying your mortgage. And if you have the additional cash, like you intended to pay it yourself anyways, you dump it down on your prepayment privileges, you will save yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage.
I have not paid one mortgage payment in my life.
You're kidding me.
I'm not joking.
That's brilliant.
I've not paid it.
And you started
smart.
when?
10 years ago.
10 years ago you started.
Is that called a slumlord?
No.
Yes.
Somebody wants to pick a fight.
If you want to speak to any of my tenants, they are long-term. They don't move. They love me. I love them. I treat them like gold. They treat me like gold.
I was making a joke, but I'm doing some work for your brother right now, and there was nothing cheap about what he did, and that was a rental property.
He's a slumlord.
Well, dun, dun, dun. Let's talk about tenants, because I used to be a landlord as well too, right? You guys do leases, you do the whole year, you do the background checks, you do all that stuff. Like, what are the parameters that we should be telling people that if they want to get into the business of being a landlord?
Do your background check. Yeah. You can.
That's huge, yeah?
Do not rent out of desperation.
It's true.
I paid that price once. I'll never do it again. I'd rather keep
How can one do the background check?
You do the application, get the job letter if you need to, you pull the credit, figure out about them. There's really no kind of, regulation surrounding that. I mean, somebody, technically could take you to the landlord tenant board, but the rental market moves so quickly. Like in Toronto, for example, if you see a unit today, you better put your offer and have your application in within a couple hours or you're not going to get it.
Wow.
There's somebody else lined up. So you can sit there and argue with the landlord about, I gave you this. It's discriminatory. They don't care. There's 100 other people ready to come in the door and take that spot.
So I have a friend that has a triplex, and what he does, I won't mention his name, but you tell me if this is true or not. He says he basically gives them an application to find out if they can take a $10,000 credit on before they actually rent.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah.
He puts a lien against the credit card.
No, you can't do that.
No.
No.
He told me he puts a lien against the credit card, and then he just keeps that open, and at the very end of it, he can cash in. Is that true?
I personally never heard of that, and
Okay.
if somebody asked me to do that, I would tell them to kick rocks.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think
With
of
open
doing
toe
that.
sandals.
Okay, so what are the things that you guys are looking for so that younger people that want to get into this business?
First things first is job stability. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't mind renting to someone with credit that's okay. I want to make sure that they've had a job for a long period of time.
What's 3 years, 5 years?
3, 5, 10 years.
Doesn't have to be the same job, but just consistency that they work.
Consistency is huge.
Yeah.
I like personally, it doesn't have to be the same job, but I like seeing someone in the same profession for a long period of time. After that, yes, next credit. That's a big thing. I want to make sure they have money in the bank and they're not living paycheck to paycheck. So
when you say credit, is that a credit score?
Their credit score, yes.
And what is a low credit score for you? And what's where does it cap out?
Under 600, it's not happening.
He's nice. Mm-hmm. I'm in the mortgage world, and anything
Where
lower
are
than
you
a
at?
680 is
You're
not.
680?
No, I'm saying anything lower than a 680 is not so great. That's when I would be taking a closer look at what's going on, because not every 600 is the same. There's no definitive algorithm behind credit. So you would want to look at the report and see what's going on there. And what's the story? I think you have to talk to people, get to know your tenants.
That's what I was just going to say. I always did everything like that. I did that whole credit check. I got to meet them, walk through them and everything. But my final decision was always on the gut.
Yeah.
It's just, I need to speak to you for about 10, 15 minutes and just get a sense of who you are, what kind of person you are. And then if I get a bad gut feeling, I'm not renting it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not. And, I was actually fortunate.
That's your best judge of character.
Yeah.
Always go with your gut.
Now, all your units that you have rented out, are they consistent? Those people haven't left?
I have one guy that's been in a basement apartment for 10 years
Wow.
since day one. Plumbing professor at Centennial College, who's living on the upstairs unit.
A plumbing professor.
That's right. He teaches plumbing at Centennial. And
Maybe we'll get him on the podcast
he'd
next.
love it.
Well, Professor GC, Carlito. I'm a professor too.
Yeah. Same with
And,
me.
yeah, I mean, everyone, no one's moving. They like where they are.
Well, we can make basement apartments, not those crappy, like
Yeah.
we've all been in them, right? Where you duck your
Yeah.
head and you got that smell, not the old woman smell or the old man smell, but you got that basement smell, right? But you can do things.
You can do lots of. The first thing you do, especially when you're looking for a rental suite, big windows.
Yeah.
Yes.
They have to feel that they're out. They have life. They're not buried in a basement, and they're not. They feel like they're above ground.
How important is it to make it legal?
It all depends on where you are.
Oh, I like
That's
this.
a-
A little bit of a
So
pause.
now
I
all of
have
a
a good
sudden,
answer.
all of a sudden, the balance of slumlord has shifted
No,
to
yeah.
the left.
Here we're at.
You know what?
No, I think
Because
that
legal, we talk about legal is window egress, fire, smoke, sound.
Two separate entrances. Yeah.
okay.
There's and separate heating. You can't use the same furnace for both dwellings.
Double drywall.
So you either go electric, which is going to be pure money, or you set up two different furnaces, which is going to be pure money. So when I say legal, I mean we know legal.
I'm not going to argue with you guys about what legal is, because I definitely think you know. But again, I think it depends on your experience and what context you're speaking in. In the mortgage world, we're just looking for a separate entrance and a separate kitchen. You may have the odd lender who's coming in and looking for a permit and those types of things. And that was definitely a norm, a handful or two handful of years ago. But now
You guys don't look at that, huh?
for example, I think the city of Brampton
well, there's nothing
doesn't
illegal.
even.
There's nothing illegal about that.
Yeah,
It is.
It's
It
about
is.
the homeowner.
the windows
renting
are very
illegally.
important. Yeah, so I don't know. For me, I'm just focused on getting this mortgage approved. What can I use? What can I not use as income?
But it's illegal, though. We know what legal is.
The windows are definitely very
know.
important for sure.
But people need to live somewhere, and on top of that, where there's a shortage, right, of
So-
availability.
Think of it this way, okay? If an insurance company these are insurance companies, if they have no problem offering tenant insurance or insurance to landlords without it being legal, and it all depends on which municipality you go to, okay, and what their requirements are, obviously. Come to Caledon, by the way. They love us.
It's not,
Yeah,
trade secret.
they I mean that's what it comes down to. I mean, safety is a huge thing,
Of course.
obviously. You don't want that liability on
God
you.
forbid something happens, you lose everything.
Exactly. But at the same time, there's
Just say it, man. Say it. You can do it.
you got to make money.
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
That's
Well,
what-
that's what it's a business.
You're right.
Let's be
It's
realistic.
still a business. But, okay, listen. It's still a business, but so is human trafficking, right?
It's still a business.
No.
I'm just saying you still have to be conscious of people.
Intent is really different there, though, I think. Are we going to dive into this?
No,
Yes, please do.
okay, see, that's like there's two different, like I know that he does the blue collar and I do the extreme kind of shit like that. And I've done extreme basements and like you walk into my basements, they don't feel like basements. Primarily because of the light. But also there's double drywall, there's a fire rating, there's a soundproof, there's a separate heating element. There are the actual proper 10 square feet of glass twice and the actual primary entrance. So you are safe to get in and out if something happens. And also if there's a flood, because a lot of people don't understand that if you have a basement apartment, you're supposed to have two separate waste systems going out of there. You cannot connect the basement one to the home one, and the home one has the backflow on it. So
yeah, but Manny, I think you're talking about something where maybe Anthony can get into that now. But when you're a first-time buyer and you want to start renting out, you need to start somewhere. We need to be realistic about that. There's baby steps and everything. Just like in construction, you start off doing cash jobs. You don't have an insurance. Eventually, you become a professional and you start to get insurance, and you move forward. A professor. And I mean, there has to be loopholes for people to start. I mean, it's getting harder. Like I remember when I bought my first place, it was zero down, and they lent me $400,000, and I was like, "Wow,
Holy
this is
shit,
great."
I was born in the wrong decade.
Yes,
But
you
now,
are.
what do you need? 25% for a first house?
No. No.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit
5%.
about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a ton of misconceptions about down payment. If you are going to live in the house, it's an owner occupied house, you can put 5% on the first 500,000 and then 10% on 501,000 up to 999,999,999. As soon as you hit $1 million, it starts at 20% down. And there's kind of a sliding scale over top of that. But for most first-time home buyers, they're probably going to land somewhere, I don't know, between the 4 and 7 range. So if somebody buys a $600,000 house, that's 5% on the first 500,000 is $25K, and then 10% on the remaining 100,000 to bring us up to 6. That's 10,000. Total down payment minimum $35K. That doesn't
That's
mean
if your credit's good.
Yeah, so you need to have that 680. That's really what we're looking for. Sometimes you can squeak by with a 650, but there are mortgage insurers that are trying to change the rule to make the minimum 680.
But you'll get a higher interest rate.
No.
No, you won't. You won't be no.
Actually, the best interest rates are for people who have less than 20% down, because the risk for mortgage lenders is so much lower because it's an insured mortgage, which means if that borrower just decides to kind of, excuse my language, just fuck off and be the worst person, worst borrower, quit their job, whatever, the lender's still going to get their money back.
That's right.
Right? So less than 60% loan to value. So somebody who comes with 40% or more down, those are your two best rate buckets.
So why was everybody always saying 20%, 20%, 20%?
It's just a misconception. If you're buying a rental property and it's entirely rental, like you're never going to live there, then you need to have 20% down, because that's not something that is insurable on the back end. And, you know, it's an investment. You got to bring a little bit of, you know,
what are
your
the
own
rules
kind of
on
stakes
commercial?
to the game.
35
35%
and up.
and up.
Commercial.
Commercial's taking a beating right now. A massive beating, right?
Well,
Yeah.
The lease side, yes. When you're there's so many businesses that are just walking away from leases right now.
Yeah.
I think going maybe into the fall, you'll start seeing a lot of buildings start, turning over, which is good because there's a lot of people that are looking for commercial, and they're just so unattainable right now because of the prices are just astronomical.
They're still being greedy and asking for stupid prices
You
on
have
commercial.
no idea.
But that's just stupid because there's got to be a huge inventory of commercial right now.
Yep, they're holding their ground. I still to this day cannot understand why.
Historically, is that smart?
Common sense tells me that's not smart, but you have to understand also that a lot of these building owners actually have paid off the building.
Yeah, they own it,
Yeah.
so they don't care. Or they've
That's right.
created small corporations, and this isn't the only structure that they have. They've got a few of them, so they don't care. They're just going to weather the storm. So
That's
to speak.
right. That's right.
Got it.
I want to talk about get into a little bit of triplex, kind of skip a little bit, and we'll get back a little bit. One of the loopholes is you could buy a home for yourself and then make sure that it's in a commercial neighborhood, and then go into making it a triplex so you don't have to put the 35% down. Is that another loophole?
That anything under triplex to duplex to single family dwelling is just a regular mortgage. Residential mortgage.
So it's still
Residential.
5%.
Even a triplex. I thought the rules changed in a triplex.
No, it's fourplex.
Fourplex.
Yeah.
You need an elevator.
No.
But again, are you going to live in one of the units?
Okay, so how does that change then?
So if you're not going to live in any of the units, that's a rental property.
But if
But
you
if
live
you're
in
going to
one of
live in
them,
one of the units,
But if I
it's
purchased
a good,
it before I turned it into a triplex or a fourplex.
well,
That's a
after the
different
mortgage
story.
closes, that's a little bit of a different
so we're
story.
talking about, I'm looking for loopholes for
Yeah.
guys that want to get into, like, again, I found that, I'm 48 now, and I spent so many years in construction, and I flipped so many houses, and it felt endless. Like, I just felt like the money keeps coming in, the money, you buy, you sell, you buy, you sell.
I've never heard this
I'm like, why are you laughing?
because I always hear this.
But what I'm trying to get to is, now you may give me a brain fart. Thanks, Manny.
Sorry,
I feel like I'm in a
Goes.
relationship. Actually, I am.
What were you saying? I wasn't even listening. Sorry, man. What were you saying?
Thanks, buddy.
Because I keep hearing I've been in construction forever. And
It was
I've done that."
Yeah,
It's hard work and you're looking
my
for the
point.
loopholes.
Yes, thank you. My point is that we don't, as contractors, we don't have a pension. So
Yes.
not having a retirement savings is a huge issue. And being 20, being 30, being 40, you just think you're going to keep making money, and you're going to find that $1 million, that $2 million, it's still not enough. So getting into, like, I really want to push triplexes on the young listeners, because it's a massive investment for guys that are working for themselves.
This is I want to dive into this. We got to take a little next segment.
Oh, building code talk with Manny.
But before we get into that, building code talk with Manny, shit, whatever. I want you guys, after we come back from that, I want to take your plumber, your bricklayer, your all these trades that are in their late 20s, early 30s. How do they do this? How do we get them to do this?
Oh, I love that.
That's easy.
Well, to you guys, it's easy.
He's a realtor.
It's the
Everything's
same way
easy.
that I can tell you it's really easy for us to build a house.
You know what? When I bought my first house, I was scared shitless.
Hang on to that scared
I
shitless.
will.
He doesn't look scared shitless.
Carlito,
Manny, I'm not listening to you anymore, by the way.
well, you got to intro me, man.
It's building code talk with Manny.
There we go. Somebody shows up at a meetings.
You like that, Manny?
So we talk a lot about the 12 parts of the building code, right? So there's 12 parts. Primarily part 9 is the main one, where you can go in, take all those parts of that part 9, those sections, and you could build a house without engineers and all this other crap, right? You can actually, as a homeowner, do yourself part 9. But I actually want to talk about, what do you guys think, talk about basement apartments, ceiling heights regarding building code?
In a basement apartment or in general?
In general, but well, it'd be a basement apartment as well.
8.5 feet.
Whoa, you got a nice basement.
Yeah, I know. What city
talking-
are you in? What city
No,
are
this
you
is-
in?
You don't live
Building-
in Toronto?
Just so you're aware, these are actual minimum codes. That
This is minimum.
That every contractor or homeowner.
So
or
what I
renter
love,
should
what I love about minimum code is, like, take a full glass of water and put it at the edge of your table. That's minimum code.
Okay.
Okay, nobody really wants to do that. We would want that 8.5 foot high. But regarding to the Ontario Building Code, what do you guys think it is regarding Part 9? Ceiling height for basements need to be what?
5.5 feet.
What?
6.75.
You were getting there. You were getting
6'11". But there's certain segments of certain structures when you're building them that's part of the part 11, and they could actually refer to that, and it could become as low as 6'5".
Wow, I thought it was 6'2".
That-
Which is, just to give you a little bit of perspective, an average door height is
That's
6'8".
what I was thinking.
Okay.
That's an average door height. So they're allowing us to build basements as low as 6'5",
Wow.
which is pretty tall for a Toronto basement dwelling.
And they expect
Not
me to
really.
sell that?
Sorry?
And they expect me to sell that?
You could sell that.
That's
you could
all
sell
right.
that.
I know.
Like, with not getting a haircut right now, I'm touching the ceiling at that point.
Yes, I know you're taller than me. Who cares? So, and that was...
Building code talk with Manny.
So we are talking to the lovely Michelle, the lovely Anthony. We are, you can find Anthony on IG at the caputogroup.realestate.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, I'm not even following you, man. Yes, I am. No, I'm following you.
I should hope so.
I'm following you. He's probably not following you. He still does, like, he doesn't know what IG is.
I'm a caveman.
Exactly.
Good for you.
www.thecaputogroup.ca, and you can also email them for any more inquiries about what we're talking about. Anthony at thecaputogroup.ca, and your phone number is 416-938-7771. And then we have Michelle. And you can find her at MLFARRUGIA. That's on Instagram. And you can also find her at COGNITIVE.CAPITAL. Correct? And the website is the same thing as that.
Cognitivecapital.ca.
.ca. Great. I got all the housekeeping out there. And you missed a meeting. We forgot that we are at Skylux Studios.
I never missed that. We just never got to it.
Thank you, Mark, for letting us record the podcast. Number 87 is going on right now. So we really thank him so much. I saw him 3 times today already, man.
I went back there. I tried to give him a hug. He tried to kick me.
No, you can't give him a hug, man. So let's get back to this picture I want to paint. Let's take these young tradespeople. They've got a pretty good job. They've got stability. They're passionate about the work that they do. They're starting maybe a new family. They have that first kid coming or something, and they want to, like Carlito said, we're all small business owners. There is no pension for us. If we think we're going to rely on the government's pension when we get to that age, good luck with that. It's not going to sustain you as an elderly.
Well, it's important we talk about this right now, because if I went into, if I got GICs or anything else, it's like around 3%. Before all this virus happened to hit, I think it was 17% gains on real estate a year, right? Now it's down to like 5%.
Depending on the location.
So you're still
totally
making
depends.
more on your money in real estate than you ever would invest into anything else with government or any kind of pensions.
The
right?
one thing you have to realize when it comes to real estate is God is not creating more land. He's not making it.
Unless you're in Dubai.
Or on the moon.
I didn't know the moon was growing.
Do you see where the sensibility is? What do I say and what does he say?
Oh, it's got to be fun, Manny. Come on.
The moon. But you're right, totally. We are not, there isn't more land.
No, we actually in Ontario, for example, we have the green belt,
Yeah.
which we are not allowed to touch. Builders are not allowed to touch unless you got deep pockets, but that's another story for another day.
That's another podcast.
Yeah. Without being able to supply more inventory, without being able to build more homes, prices are only going to go up. It's since the beginning of real estate, prices just go up. They'll drop a little, then they'll go back up. And you always, even if you feel that you overpaid on a property, your time will correct all of that.
So basically what you're saying is that just start. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what's going on in the world right now. Doesn't matter if there's a recession. Doesn't matter what's happening. Begin.
It doesn't matter the best time to buy is always 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So not about waiting until
No.
something.
No.
Well, most of my friends, when they were young, they put their $10,000, $15,000 down, and say they're like 16, 17 years old at the time. They lived at home, rented their house out.
Yeah.
Their families helped, make sure nothing would go wrong, and now they're getting married, and both the husband and the wife both have a house each, and now they have $4 million in assets.
Just like that.
Just like that.
So let's take the plumber. Let's take the bricklayer. Let's take the carpenter. What does he or she have to do?
I have lots to say about this. So just so I understand correctly, we're talking like subcontractors.
Yes.
Okay.
But subcontractors nowadays are all still business owners.
Yep.
They're all
Yeah.
independent business
Well,
owners.
we're still.
But there's no T4 is what I'm asking. There's no pay stub, so to speak.
That's where the tricky part is.
Yeah.
So they're basically charging their rates, and then they're handling their own taxes. They're handling everything, all their paperwork.
So this is what I have to say about that. You're either going to pay the government or you're going to pay everybody else. So take a hit for 2 years and pay the government, because on the mortgage side, I need 2 years. I need an average.
Minimum 2?
Minimum, yeah, 2. I can't really use 1 if you're self-employed.
I always
Not
thought it
at
was
bank
3.
rates anyway. No, actually. But I guess it depends. How much do you have to spend on down payment? Because if you're trying to purchase with less than 20% down, pretty much your only option is to go to a bank.
Well, look at it this way. We had Mark Fraser in here from Craigmore Construction. At 22 years old, he became a Red Seal bricklayer and was making 60 grand versus his friends were leaving university with $100,000 worth of debt and getting a $25,000 job. So he's a 22-year-old person with 60,000 income. That's how much money he has. He doesn't have kid. He's probably still living at home, so he's banking it.
Yeah.
Living the dream, as I say.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It
Living
is.
at home? Absolutely. I'll take my mom's cooking every day.
Your laundry's done. Everything's clean.
I'm Italian. I'm sorry.
You
I'd love it.
probably still stop at your mom's house a couple times.
Wait
a
a
week
second.
for-
I'm mama's boy.
That's okay. You do what you gotta do.
Hey,
Instead of groceries, mamas.
I shop at my mother's.
Okay, back to our trade. So 2 years, T4.
No,
Take that
but you
hit.
don't have the T4.
So you don't have
you're,
it.
You're doing your own taxes and you're claiming stuff yourself. Get that income up on your line 150 or whatever it is on your T1s. That's if you have less than 20% down. If you have a shitload of cash in your account and you're thinking about putting down a big down payment, that opens up my options for lenders. Now I can go to what we call B lenders, for example. They'll let you purchase with them. The rate's going to be a little bit higher.
So
but
tell
they're
us
more
A,
flexible.
B. Tell us all the lenders.
Yeah, so I'm not going to list off all the lenders, but basically to us, there's 3 categories of lending. There's A, which is what most consumers know about, the major banks. There's also monoline lenders in there, which are basically mortgage companies, all they do is mortgages. You usually cannot access them without a broker. But usually their rates are a little bit better than the banks because they don't have the overhead costs, right? When the insurance sector is not doing so great, they bump up the mortgage rate or whatever. You don't have that at a monoline lender. So that's the A space. That's where the best rates are. But that's also where they want to see the most clean income. So a lot of them are not going to allow me to say, hey, here's 12 months of bank statements. You can see that he's depositing $120K into his account. They're going to say, well, on this T1 here, he says that he made $40,000. But if you bring 25% down and we maybe go over to a B lender, if your credit score is still pretty good, you're half a point to a point higher. And now I can get a little bit more creative with the documents that I'm using. Now I'm manually adding up deposits in bank statements and saying, even though he's claiming this on his taxes, he's actually making this. And, you know, it's just a little bit more
We're all
wiggle
small
room.
business owners, so we all want to keep our income low because of CRA, our tax man, but it's hurting us.
This is all I'm going to say. We're small business owners, right? Like, we don't have the pension either. We're self-employed, but I would rather claim a little bit more for just those 2 years so that I can get a bank rate. As soon as I'm in the bank, I never have to leave the bank. I could get a mortgage today and quit my job tomorrow. As long as I make that payment on time every single year, they're going to send me renewal papers. I'm not going to have the opportunity maybe to move my mortgage around. Everybody should refinance and switch to a new lender every single time their term is up.
Keep it honest.
And what's that term?
So most people take a 5-year term.
5 year. Okay.
But the reason you should is because your lender's going to offer you a higher rate because they've already retained your business. Then they're going to give a new client. It's better to be in the bank than be in the B lender where there's, you know, a 1% fee every single time you want to renew and you're paying a higher interest rate. Like, I would rather just take that hit for 2 years so that I could stay with the bank for the next 25.
Makes a lot of sense.
Can I entertain rent to own with you guys? How does
We
that?
have different opinions.
How does
on
that? Well, you know,
this.
I have a lot of friends that rent and they always wanted a piece of property, and I feel sorry for them. And I always tell them, listen, guys, you have to have a piece of property. I always tell people you need a car license, a car, and a piece of property. I think that in my view in life, if you don't have those things, you're not really living life.
When it comes to rent to own, I do dabble in it a little bit. I deal with RTO Investment Group. They actually help a lot of families who cannot save that amount of money to fast enough to put down, say, 5% on as a down payment. So the way it works is all they need is $10,000, 10, 15 grand. The application
The
goes,
renter needs that.
yes, the renter needs that
Okay.
as their down payment to the investor who's going to buy the house for them.
All right. See, I was under a different. I was told that you rent for 3 years.
You do.
and then they take that money from your rent, and then they put that into the mortgage that they will co-sign,
Yep.
even though that's their house still.
Yeah. So that 10 grand is basically their commitment. They're giving that 10,000 as, yes, I'm committed to being in this program, and I'm going to continue doing it, paying you rent. I'm committed. I'm going to make sure the house is going to be in good working order, because at the end of the day, they're buying it off of the investor. So it is technically going to be their house in 3 years. So that payment, that rent payment that they make, a portion of it does go get put into a savings account where the investor puts it aside for them, and that'll add up to 5% down on a property. And they don't, well, I don't really like this part, but they don't, the investor likes this because they buy the house off the investor. They don't have to use a realtor to buy it off them, so they save money there.
Are you against it, Michelle, or is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I am against it. I'm the numbers girl. So, like,
Well,
Anthony, no offense,
Yeah, no problem.
but Anthony gets to be like the fun one. I feel like buy this house, makes dreams come true, blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of like your mom at home who tells you you're not going to the party this Friday. You know what I mean?
So my opinion of this is everyone needs a roof over their head,
Yeah.
right? No one, if you're doing rent to own, it means you can't save money. You can't save money fast enough. So that program is there to help them get into
That's
a
right.
mortgage. So yes, is it an extreme way of getting into the market? Yes, it is. You are paying higher rent to the owner of the house for the 3 years. A portion of that does go towards your down payment, and then by the end of it, you're a homeowner.
So I'm going to stick some holes in that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Bang, bang.
He's not going to talk to me again. No, so
am
I do
driving you back,
agree.
remember.
Well, this is garage
You're
talk.
walking
So
home. You're walking home.
There is Uber.
I live around the corner. I'm good. Okay, so I do think that rent to own fits a very specific type of client. And I think that there's too many people who don't want to put in the work or the time that are trying to fit themselves into these programs, that it's not a good idea for them. So in my mind, the rent to own client is somebody who makes good money, is maybe fresh out of, I don't know, law school, they're a doctor, whatever it is, they're a tradesperson, they make good money, and they want to start getting into the market right now. Maybe they don't have the best savings habits. It's essentially somebody saving your money for you. But you still have to qualify for that mortgage on the other side. So I see the horror stories because I see the people not qualifying for the
This is
mortgages
great.
on the
It's
other
good to
side.
hear.
Right? Because first of all, we can't predict where the market's going to be in a few years. In these contracts, also, yeah, he can better than me. Also, in these contracts, I believe every rent-to-own company is completely different. Honestly, if Anthony has gone as far as partnered with one, I would assume that it's a very good one because I know that's really important to you. There's a ton of them out there, though, that they are not really hoping that you're going to be able to qualify for that mortgage at the end.
Why?
They want the
Because-
property.
They get to keep the property. So essentially what you're doing is you're putting that little slap of money down. Some people it's $5,000, some people it's $10,000. And then you're paying market rent every single month. So whatever the rent for anybody else who was just going to rent there and live there, that's what you're paying. And then you're paying a premium on top of that. Let's say it's $300. And that $300 is going into a savings account every single month. So if you do the math over 3 years, $300, that's not enough for a down payment,
No.
which is why they want the 10,000.
What?
I'm so not good at math off the
she's
top of my
calculating.
head.
So the
10,800
the extra rent that is paid always adds up to the 5%.
with that original 10
So no
grand.
matter how you
So
cut it,
no matter how
you
you cut
get
it,
to it.
that they have to be able to pay market rent plus that extra sum that will equal out in 3 years to 5% down.
All right, so I want to get back to a little bit more of the realistic real estate. I just wanted to kind of hover over some areas that, you know, the young listeners that aren't in place can realize that they need to save their money, create great habits, get into this industry and not rent. Some people want to rent, not have any responsibility, and others, you know, want a piece of life and have their own little
but
world.
renting is actually a really good tax.
Write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can
It benefits you.
if you have your own business.
I had
Yeah.
tenants that were families and they were successful and they preferred it. They didn't want to buy it. They didn't want to have that ownership of a property. They just didn't want to.
Yeah, but
Even
like
for you as the landlord, though, it's a good tax write-off. Like you
Yes.
can, you know.
Yeah, but I know, but I'm going back to the reality of it all. Great that you're comfortable and you don't want that kind of headache and, you know, you just want to rent. But 30, 40, 50 years go by and you go to retire and
you
you've
have
got
nothing.
a few $1 million,
Yeah.
I know.
you know, like that's what it's coming down to. And I really want to put it in the young guys' heads that, and girls that are in construction or in the industry in general, that, you know, this is your savings. This is
Would you guys apply that whole formula that we talked about, the younger version to an older version of a tradesperson the same way? Doesn't matter. Just get started.
Just get in.
Yeah.
But I mean, as you get older, you knock up a few women and all of a sudden you've got a few houses.
wow,
and-
Manny.
babies. Yeah.
I'm just talking reality, okay? That's all I'm talking about.
Portuguese.
I'm
But
too
you
young
have-
for this podcast, maybe.
Oh, wow. Okay. You impregnate a few lovely princesses.
I'm kidding.
Shit happens.
But it's a little harder at that point. Now you want that stability and you've got 2 kids, let's say, and you got, okay, so you're growing your business. So you probably have a workshop you got to pay. You got overhead, machinery. You got all this. That's stress, man. Is it
Yeah, but-
really still doable?
Which is why you should get a basement suite or a rental opportunity in there. Like, you're not even paying your mortgage almost at that point.
No,
Yeah.
but you're dealing with headaches of smells of food, people's habits coming in early, late, parties.
What's with him
that-
and the smells?
I know,
Yeah.
I don't know what the smells, man.
All
Smells
I'm
make a
saying-
big deal in my life.
All I'm saying
You smell, don't come near me, okay?
is I'll take the food smell and money in my pocket.
Because the smell of money smells nicer than the food.
Exactly.
If you're not willing to sacrifice
Have you ever smelled
at
money?
all.
Wow.
Oh, here we go.
I want to go somewhere
Anthony
else.
you're about to drop some knowledge. I like that.
Go,
Okay, let's go. I'm sorry.
Go.
I
That's
interrupted.
okay. No. Listen, when I bought my first house, I told you guys I was scared shitless.
How old were you?
29.
Okay, so you started a little later.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
I started later. I bought my first bungalow. I lived in the basement and I rented upstairs, covered my entire mortgage, all the utilities, the taxes, all of it. But the lady upstairs who lived upstairs, I had to put up with her dildo going off at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Hi.
You loved it.
Her getting
I love hearing it.
Okay.
You sure it wasn't a pager?
Remember I told you guys before we got started that there's certain words that show up in this podcast, and dildo is the first time. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, we're here to set record.
I'm so happy you guys are open-minded.
No, I'm being
Tune
honest.
in.
I would wake up to her just moaning like she was just.
Moaning.
This is
dildo.
fantastic, isn't it?
This,
What
and
else?
you
this
would
just
just
topped
open your
free
banking
sign.
app. And
I'm waiting for orgasm. I'm waiting for foreplay.
I just whether it was with a tool or with another random
No,
guy,
but you know what? You're saying something really important.
What was
this
the
is
question
what's going to
again?
happen when you have a renter.
that's right. That you have
It's
to
their
sacri-
personal space to do whatever they
That's
want.
right.
But you were offsetting that with the money that was coming in because she
Yeah.
was taking care of your mortgage payments.
Everyone's worried about not being able to live their best life while they're a homeowner.
House poor.
That's right. But having that renter there gives you the ability to take a vacation, go out whenever you want.
Someone's still there. You don't have to worry.
That's right. Financially, it's a huge. Being financially strapped is not a good feeling, but having that extra income coming in will always. You'll look at that money at the end of the month and you're like, "Fuck, I can go out tonight."
Well, okay. So Michelle, you're the broker. What's the percentage breakdown?
For what?
Person makes $100,000 a year. How much towards the mortgage? How much towards living the high life, traveling, food,
Well,
all that stuff? What are the magic numbers here?
About 39% of your income is going to go towards just your house costs. That's literally what our percentage
Your
is. It's
mortgage,
called a
your
gross debt
insurance,
service.
your maintenance.
But that's after you pay taxes, CPP.
No.
No.
Okay.
So this is called a gross debt service ratio. And it's actually a ratio I'm looking at when I'm deciding how much you can qualify for in a mortgage. And it consists of your principal and interest payment for your mortgage, your property taxes for the year, your heating costs, and half of your condo fees if you live in a condo. So that can equal 39%. If you're putting less than 20% down, I could go off about the different types of buckets that mortgages fit into, but let's just say it's a first-time home buyer. And then I'm also looking at a total debt service ratio, which is everything that was included in the GDS, plus anything, if you stopped paying it today, you'd be considered late. So your credit cards, your car loans, lines of credit, student loans. I don't care about your phone bill. I don't care about your car insurance. That is 44%. So that's kind of already set right there. And then, I don't know, I think that there's like I'm 25. So I don't know. I have a bit of a different viewpoint. I see in the one side of my life, I get to work with people who are a little bit older than me.
Michelle's hoping for the real estate
But
market to
handsome
crash,
and
by the
older.
way.
Why are you hoping for it to crash?
I would love it. I honestly, no, I wouldn't. Like from a business standpoint, I wouldn't love it. Yeah, I've said it to Anthony 100 times. He's like, "You're selfish. You're fucking selfish." He's like yelling at me on the phone. I'm like, "Come on, man." I'm like, every generation above us became overnight millionaires doing absolutely nothing. I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
People got to put $5,000, $10,000 down on a home. And everybody loves to look at our generation and say that we don't work hard. I work very fucking hard.
You do.
No, but you know what? You're saying
Hold
something
on.
that's very realistic. My father-in-law bought his house for $42,000. It's worth $5.5 million right now.
How much was he getting paid when he bought it?
Yeah, that's
He was a master
Maybe
electrician.
$20,000?
He wasn't getting paid much. He struggled. He worked 2 jobs to just do what he did, and he had that rent.
I'm getting hot over here.
My biggest pet peeve, Michelle, and I'll be honest with you guys, I keep Michelle around because of her work ethic. She gets shit done.
so you're not the norm millennial.
She's not the norm. Absolutely. I'm sorry, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Truth is the truth.
Well, it's good to hear.
Right? Michelle is a workhorse.
Are we still smoking a joint after this?
Wow.
Absolutely.
We just
joint.
Ding.
we just topped it.
Fired tonight.
Okay, so you were
Okay,
saying.
hang on. Speaking of joints, let's get into the world of flipping.
Well, can we? Stop?
I hate it.
Can
You
we
hate
just
it.
Stop for a
Whoa.
second about the flipping.
Okay. flip
You were saying something really important, and you were talking about how tight people are with their money, and just getting by. What about remortgaging? Is it dangerous to remortgage? Do you agree with remortgaging?
What for.
Why are you doing it?
Are you doing it to pay off debt?
Everybody gets into a hiccup in their life at some point. Mom gets sick. All of a sudden, your kid wants a PhD, and you thought maybe they'd go to college for 2 years, and they turned out a little brighter than you thought they'd be. Whatever the situation is, if you're taking debt at a higher interest rate and bringing it down to a lower interest rate in a mortgage with the option to have prepayment privileges and attack that debt a little faster.
As long as you don't go back into debt right after that.
That's what it is. So I do a ton of refinances, and I'm saving clients $3,000 a month, putting their car loan in there, putting their credit cards, their line of credit from renos. Maybe you're putting in a pool. I don't know what it is, but if you're just
as long as it's going back
cash,
into the real estate, not into your business or into debts in construction because you're taking money from Tony to pay John or
not
Peter
that.
Paul.
Definitely though, like I'll tell you, I'm amazed at even the older generation. I have clients that are my parents' age, and they are at 80% loan to value. They're at the cap of what they can refinance their mortgage on, and they do it year after year after year.
He just looked at me for some reason. What just happened?
What's your parents' age?
My dad is born in 63. He just turned 57 last week.
Good. We're still young.
Yeah, and my mom 60. She was born in 65. Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of hover over that. I'd like to go back to that
Flipping?
because we don't have much time. So I really want to.
We have time. Let's
All
get
right.
into flipping. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about flipping. That's
why I brought it up.
Yeah.
So,
But you both hate it.
I am a true believer that you hold on to real estate. You don't sell it.
Yeah, my biggest
But every
mistake in real
contractor
estate.
wants to flip. Every guy reaches out to me.
Because
Manny,
they
what's your
want-
opinion about flipping?
They
You know
all
what's-
want the quick payout.
What's funny is half the people who come to me for flips, they're not handy at all. Like
Yeah, they're lipstick on a pig.
They've seen
Yeah.
a
Boys and
show
girls.
and they want to.
But for the listeners to know, I bought a property in Prince Edward County, which is on an island just south of Belleville, and
What?
never touched it for a couple of years. And almost every year, I swear, it's like $100,000 profit. So
sick.
and people need to listen that you need to buy something, and even if you're not going to do anything with it, as long as you own it and carry it, you're going to make money.
So that's why you guys don't like flipping, because you should hang on to this property.
My last house, my first house, I bought it 10 years ago, 320,000. It's worth almost 800 right now.
Beautiful.
My second property, I bought it for 395. It's worth 1.1 million right now.
Oh, God, I love it.
2 years ago, I bought my second property, one literally down the street from my other one. I bought it for 760. It's worth 1.1 right now.
Listen,
So
I don't
you're
want.
rich.
I don't want to pick a fight with Carlito again.
You have a problem?
Wait a second. He's
You have a problem with money?
I don't want to pick a fight with Carlito again. But what about all these rental TV shows that saying flip, 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 flip?
There's
flip?
a lot of like background and education that goes into that though.
But they
Like,
make it look so easy. You
they-
just like paint the wall.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of things on social media, on TV. Everything looks easy. But like, do you have a brain in your head? You got to like really look at what's going on. People just love to make a quick buck. That was rude, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's half French, half Portuguese. That's why.
I'm not half French, man.
So he's a mutt.
Oh my goodness, I'm 100% Portuguese, man. What's going on? Flipping. I want to talk because every contractor thinks that they can flip it. We've got the skill sets. We know all the shit.
Can
Yeah.
I
Go.
So for me, doing a flip, being an older guy now, for me, it was giving the customer or the person that's going to purchase my next home the dreams that they couldn't have. So like most people buy a house and they never get to do what they wanted to do it. So they always wish they would have that in the house when they purchased it. So me as a contractor, when I'm doing a flip, I try to give them all the bells and whistles. But now real estate has completely changed. It's not about the bells and whistles anymore, right? So where's it heading to now?
Why can't someone just hire you to do what they
Reno
want?
their
Reno
house.
their house.
Because typically when both of you guys know this, they're already maxed out by the time they buy that house. And they don't have any equity on it.
I can
They have to
agree.
wait a few years to get equity before they can do anything to it.
So there's two ways of looking at that. You can save your money, and when you have it, you do the reno.
Yeah, but we all know I'm a contractor.
Everyone's
Some guys can't
impatient.
save
They want
10,000. It
everything
takes them 10
yesterday.
years
Sure,
for
man.
$10,000.
But whose
I know.
problem is that?
It's not
Like,
mine.
let's be real though. You know what I
it
mean?
is. We know it's ours.
No, it's not ours.
No, but
as
you're
like
right.
an industry. It's an individualistic
No,
thing.
No,
like,
but
Exactly.
Manny, you're saying
It's-
something very realistic.
Yeah.
It's the contractor's problem now.
Yeah.
it could be the banker's problem. Whoever has an issue with saving money,
What
saving money. you know
Manny's
I mean?
basically saying is that the people that aren't very good with their money and they can't save that money, the contractor is the one that gets left with having, like Manny says, if he was going for a penis enlargement, would you
Why
you
does
know,
this feel
would
like
you
a
say
true
to the
story?
doctor, can you give it to me for 50% off? No, I'm not going to mess with my penis. So why is it that you could go to a contractor and say to a contractor, well, you know, I want a $30,000 bathroom for $10,000.
You know what?
So how is that fair?
I run into the same issues when I'm selling a house, and I tell everyone the same thing. When you're working, when you need brain surgery, do you want the guy
course.
that's been doing it for a really long time, the experience, or do you want to save a couple bucks and take a chance and hire the guy that's
We've always
Could
been
fuck
big
up.
about professionals are professionals. I don't
Agreed.
care what you are or what career you chose. I still believe that a contractor is not a fallback job. It's not something that we couldn't succeed at anything else.
Walk
we just
away.
dropped into it and we just started doing it. It's a career, right? So we are all professionals. So I don't care that you come along and you go, "Oh, I can do that. I can do that." No, you can't do that. Not the way we do that. If you see our work, you can't do that.
people's perception of your perception or of your profession, they see it all on TV,
Yeah.
right? They don't.
I'm
they
not gonna
don't.
pick a fight. I picked
they
that
don't-
fight on the last one.
He's
They
saying
don't-
that because I don't know if you know, I was on TV 15 years, so he's me and him have this struggle. I enjoy television.
He was on a shit
he
show.
hates television, right? So
No, correct.
And then you
correct.
ended up on like radio.
No,
How does
hang
that
on
go?
a sec. Hang on. I hate the representation of our industry on television.
Okay.
That's what I hate.
let's
It's
make
not
this
just your industry.
educational.
No,
though.
and I've seen your show. I've seen your versions of your shows on those same programs too, and it's all bullshit. It's all crap. It's like that's not how it works.
My
No,
favorite
but-
is Love It or List It. It's just
Oh.
did that what?
But you know what? There's one thing that's really great about it. It's stimulating. It creates business. It creates work. It creates ideas,
Okay.
and it's all important across the whole board.
No, it's not.
Okay,
You talking about the shows?
let's get back to real estate.
Flip. But before we do flip, I want to talk more about flip because I still am interested.
Yes.
But right now, it's Green Book time, with Carlito.
Okay, so
Green Book time.
this is kind of like you guys kind of guessed the number on the first offense.
You guys
So-
have no idea what kind
I
of
have-
show you walked into. Huh?
No, yeah, I don't even.
I just for the record,
We try to
I've
educate-
guessed
I want to
everything
come
wrong.
back though.
Great, you should.
Yeah.
You,
okay.
Anthony, you were saying that you just worry about not saying anything wrong, or
No, I said I've gotten everything that you've asked wrong so far, so we're on a roll.
Well, and this is the whole point. Even we're learning. So, like before I came, I was trying to find a bylaw for real estate. There's really the only thing is about you guys being honest.
There's no right or
and
wrong.
there's no penalty on that
because
It
there's
just-
no cash
It
prizes.
just
here.
basically says real estate agents need to be as honest as they can be. So
And even that,
it's like
there's
section
a loophole.
580.
Is it still true that you got to tell somebody if there was a dead body in the house?
Oh, if it was a murder or suicide, yes.
Wow.
If someone just died naturally, no. We don't.
So pillow to the face is still natural.
That's murder.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
though? It's pretty crazy. I was
Things
gonna
got
buy.
a little weird.
I wanted to buy a house in Tweed in just north of Belleville, and I'm not gonna say the story, but someone had been killed in that house, and they could not sell this house, and I was like, let's take it. It's right on the water. It's perfect property.
It's Green Book time with Carlito.
I always talk about death, don't I? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so getting back to the green book infractions. So, constructor appointed supervisor failing to supervise work at all times. That means basically be the supervisor and being there at all times. And if you're not, what do you think the first offense would be by a city inspector?
$500.
50,000.
Holy shit!
Put the money on the table.
Wow, man!
Extremism.
Don't
I don't know what we're
don't
talking
take her to
about.
the casino, man.
50K.
Well,
Mr.
you're
Manny?
wrong,
Damn.
Mr. Manny.
Five
That'd be
fifty.
like on the third offense.
Okay, cool. I was thinking.
550.
It's 550.
Oh wow.
So this whole practice is basically for contractors or anybody in this industry to understand the rules and the penalties to not following the rules.
And we are talking with Anthony from the Caputo Group Real Estate on IG and www.thecaputogroup.ca. Email Anthony at thecaputogroup.ca. Phone number 416-938-7771.
Correct.
To get a hold of you, you're always looking for clients.
Always.
And you want to work with contractors. You want to work with anybody.
Anybody. Anytime I can help someone build wealth and put a roof over their head for themselves, their family.
You're passionate about it.
Well,
you believe in it.
And
I love real estate.
Hang on. And we also have at, I'm not going to pronounce it, MLFA.
Why don't you ask her to do it?
Yeah, why don't you do
At
it?
ML Farugia. That's MLFARRUGIA.
On IG.
You
Wait,
got a
I want to give
pretty
my cell
good
phone
grip.
number.
You got a pretty good grip on that.
Do
I
it.
do. You're a
Hang on. The second.
Wow.
And why do you have two? Why do you have two?
Well, one's my personal one, and I recently branched off and started to kind of make a business one. And I actually love that I'm here today because what I'm working on doing is educating millennials more so about finance.
What about older people?
To be able, and older people can log in as well. It's just I do it off Instagram.
She doesn't like anyone older than the millennial.
So if
Yeah.
anyone,
Hang on. Is it the smell?
It is the
it's a strong
smell.
possibility.
The second one is what?
Cognitive.capital.
Okay. And so you got a personal, you got a business one, and then you want to give up a phone number?
I want to give my phone number.
Do
You
it.
give yours.
Are you sure?
if someone's
Yeah.
looking for a mortgage broker, this is the greatest time to
This
call
is
you.
the best time. It's 647-355-1823.
You can also reach her on her hotline, 1-800.
Hit me
You know what?
up.
This may be my favorite podcast. And we're back.
Let's talk about what do we want to
Oh,
talk
wait a
about?
second. I want to see if you remember what we were talking about.
Flipping.
Because you look all
Flipping.
Flipping.
All right. So
I'm still in because I know that every contractor wants to flip because our mentality is like we've got the skill set. We know our circle of construction.
okay. And saying that, and you know, when I'm flipping houses, I don't care about taking risk or spending time and giving somebody something that they possibly would enjoy. What is too much and what is too little in real estate when you're flipping?
Well,
It depends on
you
your
guys don't-
profit
you guys Don't like
margins.
it. You guys don't like
No, I don't have so much of a problem with it. It's just most people who come to me to do it, they're investors or they're young and up and coming investors. And it's like they want the bank rate and they give me a 400 credit score. They have no money in their account. And it's like they're trying to leverage everything. Yeah, there's good and bad times to leverage credit, but you need to nail your numbers down. So that's great that you can do things by hand. But like, are you gutting the property all the way through? And then I would bring a realtor in. I would absolutely reference a realtor and say, what are comparables for this lot size and this house size in the area that are already done and are already nice?
because you're going to tell them
The amount of times I tell people don't even bother,
because you won't get the return.
You're not.
That's where I see it.
unless you're getting
Yeah.
a 20% return on the investment, there's no point.
Unless you're really going to hang on to that piece of property.
Then you're not flipping.
But you're all big about flipping. But okay, so are kitchens and bathrooms still the most important rooms in the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Master bath and
Mm-hmm.
kitchens. What are the other rooms that are important?
Maybe like
For me,
after
it's closets.
I agree. I totally
Honestly,
agree.
I'm not even joking you. Like,
Fuck the bathroom.
I
Let's
take
knock it out.
I
Let's
take
get a
properties
closet.
with
Right.
3-4 bedroom and turn them into 2, and people are like, "You're mental," and I'm like, "Am I?" And then at the end, it's the house that sells the most, or the for the
Closets
highest
are-
I will buy
I would
your
step it
houses.
up. Storage. If you are clever how you do storage throughout the entire house, so laundry, powder, master, the boys' bathroom, the girls' bathroom, the bedrooms, the break room downstairs, storage. Just be smart with your storage.
Let me ask you a question. What's the first thing that you see when you enter a house?
It's the
When you
front
look
step.
at
It's
it.
the front door.
I hope
The
it's the
foyer?
washroom.
It's not.
When you
The
once you
foyer?
walk in,
As
once
soon
you
as you see the house, what's the first thing you see?
like, are you on the outside or are you inside?
Outside.
You're on the outside.
Yeah.
Garage door.
You see the garage door. Right?
Yay,
I
ding,
can't
ding,
stand.
ding.
I can't stand the
That
garage door.
is the best. That's the cheapest item to fix. Forget about painting.
Okay, this is great.
No,
to
no.
hear.
A brand new door is $2,000 with a new unit. That's
That's it.
quiet
Or
as hell.
Yeah.
$500-600 to paint it.
That's right. That's the curb appeal is huge.
Some wall
That's
sconce
the
on the outside
first
columns.
thing- yeah, that's the first thing that everyone sees. And if you don't have them hooked
From that get
from
go.
that part, of,
It doesn't matter how beautiful it is inside.
It means nothing. I hate it when I see homes. Oh, I flipped the house. It's great. Inside's all great. And then you come outside. You're outside. You're like,
The garage
fuck,
door.
I got
looks
another
like
$100
shit.
grand I got to spend out here.
So does that go like to landscaping as well?
Yeah,
would
of
you
course.
say?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
Okay.
Yeah, nice tight grass.
Tight grass.
Magic carpet works wonders.
Okay, so this is coming from something from me. I'm a contractor. I want to work with a real estate agent. I want a real estate agent to sell a house to an investor, and I want that real estate agent to call me and say, I want you to renovate this house for this person, or two-part question. I have someone that wants to sell their property, and I need a contractor. So what are you looking for? How do you sell that?
First things first, you really need to vet your contractor. Okay, for every person that I refer out to clients, they need to come to my house first and work on my house, so I know they're going to represent me well. So I've had contractors that have come and they said, I know what's going through their mind. Oh, I'm going to get this money, I'm going to run, and oh, he's going to refer me people, and the amount of money that they've lost because they didn't do the job right the first time.
The impression that they left.
Exactly. So if you can't do the job well for me, why would I send you out to my own clients?
So what are some of the red flags that you see contractors doing that you just roll your eyes going, why'd you do that, man?
You should come to my house. I just had one, and he had the pot of gold sitting there waiting for him, and all he did was come in, took the money. I knew he was going to do it too. I was just waiting. He took the money, and yeah, I'm going to come. I'm coming. Still don't have a backsplash. I have crown molding coming down.
What is it? Because he's just stupid busy and he's not organized
No.
and he doesn't want to fit it in, or he
just
doesn't
wants
want to do it?
He doesn't want to do it. He's lazy. He's absolutely
Wow.
lazy.
Well, you got my number now.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
Michelle, you haven't dealt with contractors.
Not really, no.
On a personal
I have a few
level.
family members or friends that are contractors.
I'm
but-
curious on what millennials are looking for in contractors.
Oh, this is tough. I honestly don't really have an answer to that question.
But in 5 years or so,
Yeah.
you're going to be interviewing contractors.
Word of mouth referrals. Like, that's it. If I'm looking for a contractor, I'm going to go to somebody that I really trust.
Instagram,
No.
Facebook.
Are you going
No.
to take the Instagram
How about
videos and
preferred
pictures of a
contractors?
contractor and go, I'm interested in that?
I don't know. No. I've lived in beautiful, brand new condos or places, and it's like it falls apart after a month of living there. Quality is super important. And I feel like a lot of people are cutting corners nowadays. So I don't know. And I've just seen some horror stories. Like,
That's why we're sitting at a square table right now.
I don't know if our pool people, I sound so ignorant to the audience here. Sorry.
What do you mean?
Are pool people like different, or is that considered people who do pools?
That's
It's a
construction.
trade. It's an
It's a
industry.
trade. So
It's
okay.
actually a really tough one
So
too.
this guy, my parents put a pool in, and he was just like that. He grabbed the money, he was in, he was out. The time frame was never on. He was loading on 20 new clients when he had like a $250,000 job here to do, and he was not here doing it. Like, in my mind, if you tell me that you're going to start on this date and you're putting a pool in, you're working against the elements as well. Like, you should
Weather.
be at the house putting in the fucking pool. And it seemed like they were there like 1 day a week, 2 days a week.
Because they had 7 jobs and they were one day
They
on each
finish
job.
Instead
it
of
and they
finishing it.
forgot one of the skimmers completely. So now there's cement there. So it's like, and he tried to go like, and my dad was like, buddy, we're going to need a little bit of a refund here. Like, you completely fucked us on the skimmer part. Like, how does our pool
How do
go
you even
through?
repair that? At
That's
the
what I'm
end?
saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big job now. Now you got to knock out the deck.
It's a
and
Band-Aid
everything.
job now.
Yeah, exactly. So
Was it a black line pool?
it's dark gray. Dark gray.
I like black line pools. but
And
you
I
can-
always do Jaws when he does
It's
that.
really, really dark gray. I tried to talk them into the
a
black
black
line.
line.
They didn't. Yeah.
See?
I
And
really
there's no
like it.
sharks in there.
No,
I
but
love
I
it.
love.
But, and then you get the lights. There's lights in it, and then there's it's nice.
I'm
Sounds
ready.
like a good pool party.
You have a rubber ducky in there too?
I have a rubber ducky in there. I do.
Rubber duck.
So I really liked where we were going at the beginning. Then we got a little carried away. You were starting from the outside of the house, and you felt that it was really important that anyone getting into flipping, the garage door is the first thing that you would see. I'm really liking what you're saying.
Hardscaping,
'Cause,
landscaping.
why? I mean, I think one of the biggest reasons you're here is you're not a typical real estate agent.
No.
You've succeeded and you have passion now, and you're not hungry just for money. You want
No,
to.
that's hey. Once
We all want money.
Once you taste it, once you taste
I know,
it,
but
No, but
you can have pride. and you can have
That's
and you can have
exactly it.
character.
More money comes when you do it right. And honestly, I don't
Well,
even want to gas his
and-
head up because it's already big enough, I think. But I
But-
work with a lot of real estate agents, and he does it really with passion. He gives a shit. He's always answering.
We talk
the phone,
about
doing
brands,
whatever. Exactly.
and you're branding yourself. We talk about bad contractors; they're branding themselves. We're talking
So
about.
wait, how long have you guys known each other? How long have you guys worked with each other?
Ooh, how did we meet?
She tracked me down.
Because you were looking for a
stalked
real
me?
estate
Because
agent.
I'm a hustler.
She
No.
literally called me. I want a meeting. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
But how did you find him, first of all?
I Googled him. No, I when I was first starting out, I would go. I had a friend who was a real estate agent, and he would let me log into. I don't even know what your program is called.
Treb.
Yeah, there you go,
MLS
Treb.
system.
Treb. And I would be looking up like listings, new listings, things that were listed in the last day, and this guy's name kept coming up, and I'm like, who is this Anthony Caputo guy? I Googled him. I'm like, oh, he's kind of handsome. No, I'm kidding.
kind of.
She told me it was a
No.
6.5, by the way.
I did. I'm like,
And
"You're
welcome
6.5
back
on
to
your
90
best
Day
day."
Fiance.
No. Yeah, I cold called him and he said, okay, come to Bolton, meet me for lunch. And we had lunch and I felt like he put me through the ringer. And he's like,
I grilled the shit.
yeah,
That's so
he
weird.
grilled the
That's where
shit out
I
of
met
me.
you.
That's right.
Okay, so you did that because you didn't want to waste your time. You didn't want to waste her time. You wanted to see how serious these people
That's right.
are. That's what it is. Because I also noticed that anybody who's successful, they want to share. They do, but they want to share to the right people.
Yep.
They don't want just the jokers who don't want to do all the heavy lifting and they just want to play the heavy lifting.
There's way too many in any profession, but in real estate, there are
a
so
lot?
many
Oh my God.
people. I have a hard time hiring staff.
Wow.
Buyer agents.
Well, I have a problem with real estate agents too. They only want to sell what's on their board.
And like you got to understand, there's like 95% of agents are doing less than like one transaction a year. They literally get their license because they can sell one house and make 20 grand or whatever it is, and that's it for them.
They're happy with that.
That's their
Right?
vacation
And
money.
it's like they talk
That's not what I
people-
want.
No.
No, you want somebody who does this day in and day out, and it's like
Drive.
There's
No,
so
I
many
want
people
I want
who
someone
pick the
that's.
wrong guy.
I really like my experience with real estate agents has been my agent would find a wealthy family that had say 70 properties that in the 90s was foreclosures. They bought them, they closed them down, turned the power out, just ran the property taxes. And then the father passes away, the kids get the property, and then they call me and they say, hey, family doesn't care about the property. They just want some quick cash. It's time for you to buy. So that's how I bought my properties. I always bought properties that were stagnant, sitting, dormant.
So you're taking advantage of dead people.
No, I'm talking about
Kids. That's what he just said.
no, but it was an investment for their kids. It's just the kids never did anything with it. They just wanted fast money.
people see dead people, he takes advantage of that.
Instead of making money, they don't really care because they just want to cash out.
I want to play a little game. I want you guys to tell me worth it or not worth it.
Ooh.
Okay?
What is this, a new game we're playing now?
No, I'm just made it up right now as you were talking and I wasn't
I'm gonna
listening.
write this
having a
down.
good time.
I'm writing this down right now.
Okay,
Is it
worth it or not worth it? I don't want an explanation, nothing.
Okay.
I just want worth it or not worth it. Okay? A pool.
Worth it.
Worth it.
I
A
know
gym.
I know you want that explanation.
No. A gym.
Right now?
No.
Not worth it.
Not
Right
worth
now.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go to gyms anymore.
Shut the.
Sorry, I got
I'd
excited.
rather
You
swim.
could do that yourself. You slap some Florida. That's not really a huge reno, honestly.
The magazine kitchen.
Worth it.
No.
The magazine master bath.
Worth it.
Sauna.
No. Wait, when you say magazine, you mean like the one out at like the pretty one?
The one that
That's
you're
what
gonna
Pretty
spend,
ones that nobody wants to
the
touch.
one that you're gonna spend.
You want to show off.
Well,
and you're gonna
Wait a
spend-
second. Wait a second. Or you hired a great photographer to make a washroom look like it's a magazine.
Back to
bathroom.
worth it or not worth it. Sauna.
No.
No.
It's not worth it, huh?
No.
It's healthy.
Elevator.
Yeah, but
Elevator.
no.
Who's buying it? Who needs it?
Are you telling me that
Everybody needs
an
it,
elevator
no?
is not worth it?
I'm saying I
Handicap.
would
If you're
love
If
an
you're
elevator in
elderly
my
or
house.
handicapped, yeah, it's worth
But
it.
people are
But
getting
that's
injured.
not like I'm not fucking moving in here because
Home
there's no
theater.
elevator. No.
Yes. Yes.
I'm a buzzkill. No.
No, this
Shut
is
it
good
down.
because we have a
Shut it
female
down.
version. We have a male version.
We have a
right?
finance version and we have a
It's-
realtor
That-
version.
I
That's
like
how I'm
this.
looking.
It's
This is
reality.
this is fantastic. By the way, props to you, man. It was a great little intro. We're gonna have to use this. From now
Yeah,
on.
someone's fucking spinning the wheels. All right. I'm trying. So what else is worth it or not worth it?
Basement suite.
An
Worth
Oregon.
it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Separate
so an
entrance,
income
worth
property.
it.
So it's worth it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So,
Underpinning.
yes. Worth it.
I don't know what that word means.
You lower the basement.
If you have a 5 or 6 foot basement,
But hang on a
it's
sec.
9.
You lower the basement an extra 2 feet. It costs you $80,000 to do it. Worth it or not worth it?
No.
If you're gaining an extra 600,
If
to
you go from
1,000 square
6'5" to
I don't
8'5",
yep, it's worth it.
it's worth it.
It's totally worth
See,
it.
that's like his.
Even
Yeah,
on
he knows that.
I
better
have-
than
selling
me.
the house, it's
The
worth
reason
it.
I know the worth of that, because the value of that, because I own the 2 of my rental properties are back splits. They're 3-level back splits, right? So that the one to add a 4th level is totally worth it. You're adding more square footage to the house.
Okay, back to the worth it or not worth it. En suites for the children.
No,
No.
they don't need it.
I like you
Maybe
guys.
what's that bathroom called where you enter it from both rooms?
You have
Jack and
One-
Jack
it's
or
called
Jack
one
and
and a
Jill?
half.
Jack and Jill.
the
or
amount-
1.5.
No, it's a Jack and Jill, man.
Fine, it's 1.5.
You'd be surprised how many people I meet that will not buy a house because their children don't have
Yeah,
a bathroom.
I
each.
know.
And I'm like, I have one
Really?
bathroom for
Yeah,
6 people.
but
I know,
But saying
I know.
that, at least you
funny.
have private like entrances, and you don't have to come through a hallway if you have guests. So it's a win-win on that one.
I don't know.
heated driveway.
No.
No.
Oh,
You never have to
so
shovel.
sad to hear that.
Do a little lifting. Get out there. Get fit.
Snowblower.
Stop sitting on your ass.
That's it's true.
You create jobs. Let the kid down the street come shovel your driveway
to
for
shovel
10
driveways
bucks.
for 20
yeah,
bucks.
You
hell
guys
yeah,
are
I
you
did.
guys are definitely
Any
coming
oth-
back again.
Any other rooms? Any other rooms? I can think of like panic room.
Okay, well,
Ooh, I like
well,
that.
I was,
Ooh,
I was,
like that.
Oh, look.
If you were
Wait a
living in
second.
the
Grabs
States,
the mic. I
if
like
you're living
it.
in the States, absolutely.
Absolutely.
well, I was gonna get to that. Like,
Oh, we just lost all the
I
US
like,
listeners.
I like guns. He doesn't.
I love guns.
I
Same
think guns
thing.
are stupid.
I think guns
That
are
makes sense.
necessary.
We're like on this side of the table. I feel like we're vibing over here.
Positive energy. here.
Like I said before, the Portuguese side is right here.
Holy shit.
What else is worth it? Not
Croatian,
worth it.
Italian.
What else is worth it? Not worth it. What else? What else? Much bigger. Much
Car, how about car garages?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
So, but like an organized to the nines.
Oh.
Hell yeah. I love
How about
those.
how about this big one for me? I took a pitched roof and I made it a flat roof with a walkout. Is that worth it?
Ooh.
Yes.
I think that's becoming even more popular. Like all the new townhouses, condo townhouses are being built with the roof on top.
Well, that's
It's
Well,
good. I love
laneway,
it.
laneway homes.
Yeah.
We did a
Worth it?
beautiful. We did
Yeah.
a beautiful one at your project.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they're ugly.
I lived in Vancouver for
Laneway?
a couple years.
Yeah.
That was a big thing there. A very
Yeah,
big thing there.
but that's weird that you're saying that. It's so contradicting because you like rental units, and
Yes.
that could be a potential rental unit not connected to the house.
A garage?
Which gets rid of the
Yeah.
smells.
Thank you. You partly.
What
correct.
else
Right.
is what else is worth it or not worth it?
Pantry.
Yeah.
You think
a
it's worth
walk-in
it?
pantry.
So butler's pantry.
Yep.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think the kitchen should be completely open.
All right. Well, here's a big one for me. 4-bedroom or 2-bedroom with walk-in closets.
3-bedroom, not 4-bedroom.
Well, these are subjective questions.
I know, but is it worth it?
Do you have kids?
He's adding
wouldn't-
more closet
I wouldn't
space.
lose.
Honestly, a single whatever, I will take the closet space. I have 2.5 closets at my house.
Here's
I
one.
need that.
Living room.
Nah.
It's not worth it, right?
Dining room?
As
Nah.
opposed to family room, you mean?
Well, most homes today have
Mm.
a family, living, dining, kitchen, but nobody ever uses the living.
Yeah, it's true.
So is it worth it or not worth it?
I'd rather expand the kitchen into the dining room. Give you more.
Open.
Yeah. Make
Open
it give
concept.
more
Wine
cupboard
cellar.
space.
Wine
Hell
cellar.
yeah.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
How about a personal favorite of mine? Crown molding,
Yep.
copper
Yeah.
ceilings,
Absolutely.
wainscot.
Yep. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
All
You-
day, all
No
night.
Okay,
popcorn
that's great to hear.
ceiling. That's
No, I hate
Nope. I
popcorn.
hate
That's
that.
cheap.
yeah.
What else? Worth it or not worth it? They're the ones that have the value. They're like she figures out the numbers for it. He
Well-
figures out the value
Well,
for
we
it.
didn't. We didn't.
The
we
real
talked
estate
about
one.
it, but I don't think we really had a good conversation in the 4-way. I think it was a 2-way. We're talking about elevators. Did we kind of answer?
No,
that?
no. She said no because she's like, you don't need that.
I know, but you're
25.
this is my point to all the youngsters out there. When I was 25, I was in fantastic shape.
Oh, here we go.
No, this is true.
Here we go.
This
you
is
just
true.
said you're 48 and young or something.
Yeah, I'm 48.
So
but-
you need an
but
elevator
what I
right now
found,
at 48?
my back hurts, my knees hurt.
I've never heard
I'm
this
getting,
one before.
I'm getting
Bungalow.
older.
You need a bungalow, sir.
Okay, here's you are right. Here's another one. One of my
Do you
biggest
need a hand,
favorites.
sir?
Every house I go into, I push this curbless showers.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's a standard.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
like
standard.
But it's
I
also
like that.
handicap. It's
Yeah.
also senior.
Freestanding
Yeah,
tub.
yeah.
Freestanding tub.
And you're on your way, right?
It's not worth it. A
That.
freestanding tub.
Yeah, I love that. That's
There we go.
sexy though. That's a different.
Steam shower.
Oh,
I like it.
yeah.
Oh,
Replaces
Yeah.
the sauna.
Whoa, did
Yeah.
everyone just get
Yeah.
relaxed?
But it's really funny.
Yeah.
You guys said no to sauna, but you're saying yes to steam
Because
shower.
it's different.
because
Because-
it's different. It's
yeah.
a
No,
shower,
but
and
there's
it's
more
a
benefits.
multi-purpose.
And-
Sauna's kind of creepy.
Okay,
Yeah.
all four
Yeah.
people
Three naked
talking.
guys beside
Nobody's-
me, bags hanging really low, and I'm like, dude, is that your grocery bag?
Okay, I'll shut up.
You know the rule from podcast number 1 where all four people talking at the same time?
Sorry.
What else is worth it, not worth it? Lazy Susie driveway.
A what?
You park the car and you hit a button and you turn the car around.
Whoa.
If you-
Oh, look at that, eh? You know what the price of that is?
No.
100K.
Let's drop it into the floor while we're at it. Can we do one of those?
So you want a car lift down to
Okay,
the
Yeah.
basement.
here's another
I'm
one.
looking for a contractor, really,
We
because
are.
this seems like it would all be
we're-
discounted.
It's not worth it. That's
Here,
not worth
here's
it.
one of my big favorites, and I'm planning to do this. Me and Manny, I was telling Manny this.
Lap pool or a regular pool?
Regular.
Lap pool or a regular
What's a
pool?
lap pool?
It's just a very long, narrow.
With
so
a
you just do
wave.
laps. That's all.
or with a wave pushing on you.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying? I wasn't listening.
My favorite, skylights.
Of course.
I'm planning to do a closet with a complete skylight, so when you walk in, it's just the view.
I'm in the middle of selling a home with a skylight, and there's leaks everywhere. So
I don't-
It's a
yeah.
bad
Here's,
install.
here's the question.
Bad
Okay,
install.
here's the worth it or not worth it. Paying attention to building envelope. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know what that
Yes.
means.
So basically what it means is that you will save in the long run on usage regarding energy
Oh,
consumption.
yes. Yes.
Is that worth it or not worth it?
Yeah, I think that's worth it.
So your $1 million budget to build a house just jumped to 1.1, 1.15 for an
Yeah.
extra better building envelope home.
short-term
Worth it?
loss, long-term gain.
And I feel like resale, that's really appealing to people. I worked for a construction company for a little bit. It was a really short period of time. Remember that?
Like what, a week or
I
two?
did sales. No, it was like for 4 months. It was too much. I was doing business development, and they were big in energy. And
You know,
it's
since you're here, you can answer this question. Why do you people have so many jobs in such a short period of time? What's the reason
Wait a
behind
second.
that?
Is that a millennial question?
Of course it is. I said you people.
wow.
Politically
No.
diplomatic.
You guys have had more jobs than our generation has in our entire life up until now.
Yeah, because I think that it's important to us to be happy and successful, not to just do what we're told all the time.
And Manny, you know what? I want to tell you something too. I went through a lot of jobs.
She just told you off.
Honestly, it's funny. Do you guys know who Gary Vee is?
Of course.
Right. So he is, I don't know, around your age.
Wow.
One of the biggest things he talks about though is take
3
your
years
risks
younger
young.
than us, okay?
Okay, shit. Yo, that's worlds of different. I was way off. But
This
yeah,
is getting
take your
really
risks.
personal.
Hang on a sec. Wait, what? Oh, yeah, I see the attitude. Like, there it is.
Well, at least we've all become friends.
What else you want to talk about? Real estate.
Well, I want to cover two more things. I don't think we really covered it. I'm a new owner. What am I looking for in a property so I don't screw up? First buy. What do I?
Where were the
without
red
going
flags?
without going all the bells and whistles? What are the smart things I need to look for?
Location, location, location.
The right real estate agent and the right mortgage professional.
So we have two of them right here. But you're saying location, location, location. So pay attention to where people are moving to and why.
That's right. I should say it's not just location. It's lot, location, layout. You want the proper lot. You want to make sure it's, I mean, you could say that I overthink these things, but I want to make sure that lot could be used for multiple uses, not just having a home slapped on it. Location, I want to make sure that I'm in very good travel distance to everywhere I need to go. 30 minutes is a good, by car or by subway. Being close to a subway is not always the best location. I mean, you could just look at Rexdale.
Like in
for
terms
example.
of crime rate and such,
Exactly.
yeah.
You gotta look
I'm
at
at
all those
Bathurst and
factors.
Bloor. I hear the trains. I hear the university students. Up
I've
and
got
down
one
the
more
streets.
worth it or not worth it.
We're popping in and out.
Living in Toronto in the core.
Not
No.
worth it.
No.
Totally worth it. I love it.
None
I
of
love
Queen
it. Don't
West,
get me wrong, but-
You
Leslieville.
could do anything anytime
It
you want.
depends
Little
where you're at
Italy,
in your life.
Little
I'm not
Italy.
telling first-time homebuyers to go in there.
That's a
just-
great investment.
That's what I'm saying.
But it is a great investment if you can do it.
it's just too much. No, it's not.
It's growing.
This is-
Everyone
no,
wants to
you're
be in the
right.
core.
Anthony,
Honestly,
is it worth
it's-
it? They're asking way too much for these homes, and there's way
They're
too much
asking way
work.
too much. The
There's
value
way
will
too much.
probably hold though because Toronto is a brand at this point.
What the average construction cost for a house in Toronto, the average, just getting started, without any of these bells and whistles that made you guys all warm and fuzzy, is $1 million construction
Okay.
budget.
You're totally
Second floor additions in Etobicoke.
You're totally right.
600,000.
But my reasoning for no is because consumers are spending. Put the house itself aside. The self-control is lacking in a lot of areas. Like, you cannot control yourself living in Toronto. Everything that you want is at your fingertips. You're not saving any money anywhere else. So even if that's an investment that's going to hold long term, because it will, because Toronto is a brand, it's up there with the New York Cities, the Milans,
I
the
agree.
blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
I agree.
If
High
you can
five.
own property there, own it, but like rent it out or whatever. Like, I personally, I've
Japan.
lived downtown. Like, I think it's a little bit overrated. I can go, if I want to go downtown, I'll go to my friend's house for the weekend. I'll get an Airbnb.
I've moved more people out of downtown in the past.
And what's the reason?
I know.
What's the reason?
Okay, I'll give you one example. My little brother, he was dying to go downtown.
Club scene.
Exactly. And then he wanted to be in a condo, Lakeshore, Park Lawn, Lakeshore.
Beautiful.
I love it.
Palace Pier.
Yeah. And then something called COVID-19 happened. And he said, holy shit, I'm in a box in the sky and
Hell
I
yeah.
can't leave.
It's true.
It's true.
The amount of people that I know that are living downtown that are just going nuts right now, or were, I mean, it's getting better now. It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go
I agree.
outside. You
I
can't.
agree.
Yeah, but
And the balcony isn't really outside.
I'm a downtown person, always have been. And going from living downtown my whole life to now going to the country, I'm appreciating the country more now.
I love it.
No Apple, no leather outfit.
Put COVID-19 aside, the amount of people that just are enjoying space,
Yeah.
right? Being able to go out into a backyard,
Yeah.
hate traffic. I hate going downtown. I can't stay on a highway for hours at a time to get to a restaurant. I'd rather cook at home.
I know, but this is what's happening. And I talk about this all the time. Why do we have traffic? People that work in Toronto live in Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
People that live in Toronto go to Hamilton. I don't understand it.
And those are the only two cities in Ontario.
No.
What about everywhere else?
No, but I'm just saying, like, this is, this is what I travel. Most of the roads I'm traveling,
Okay.
and these are my problems, right? So
Nope.
I just don't understand. If you're gonna be working downtown, you should live downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't always work like that.
Environmentally
Sometimes
friendly.
Your job
There-
takes you.
that's-
Oh, you're being serious.
It's hot up in here. Jesus, can we
Well,
crack a window?
Why do you think he said you like saunas?
All right. Is there anything else before we get into our last segment?
Well, we skipped something that we do first, and I really kind of wanted to know how you guys both real fast got into each of your trades. We usually talk about that first because this is about your personal. This is about you guys personally, the construction life. It's about how you guys got into it, how you got motivated, and how you got inspired. So I just feel like we're doing it backwards today, but it's been great. So I just want to kind of let you hear a fast story.
For me, I came from a retail background. I worked for the Aldo Group.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 10
That's
years.
why he's stylish.
Do you know
I-
Bill Johnson?
we may have crossed paths.
Really?
We probably crossed paths.
At 3 or 4 points of their lives. It's a possibility. The amount of people that I know now that came into my stores.
Exactly.
And, it's true. But I learned when it comes to people, they taught me everything. My parents have been telling me for years, get into real estate. You're going to be good. You're going to be good. I'm like, nah.
Is it the salesman?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's not the salesman. It's
a
the
relationship.
emotional.
you're not when you're, and my boss taught me this. I never understood it until I got a little older. You don't sell shoes, you sell yourself, right?
Honesty sells itself.
Exactly. If you give them your honesty, they will continue to come back over and over and over again. My business now is all referral business. I spend money on advertising because I need the government off my back and I need expenses. If I didn't have to do that, I wouldn't spend a dime. You give great service and you're honest with people. And if they're making the right decision, make sure they're making the right decision. Tell them, just be honest. You don't do it. Don't try to sell someone a house because you need a quick paycheck. It doesn't work that way. You're selling, this is an investment, a lifetime investment. And if I'm lucky, they're gonna do it 3, 4, 5 more times, and they have.
Some lucky people. And yourself?
I come from a psychology background, actually. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do after university. I had a couple concussions playing lacrosse there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, a friend of mine said, you know what, why don't you just come to open interviews at the bank? Because my plan was law school and I just couldn't do any more school. So I ended up working at the bank. I was like the person who picked up the phone when you call on the back of your card and you yell at them because you can't get into your online banking. And
I never yell at them.
well,
I totally do.
I do. Yeah. And then we're supposed to flip it into a sale. And honestly, you get calls from all over the country. I just couldn't believe how much debt people were in. A girlfriend of mine was doing mortgages in the States, and I learned I was pretty good at sales. She's like, you need to get into something commission for yourself. And I was in BC actually at the time, and I went to a brokerage that specialized in refinancing people's debt. And it's super, super rewarding. I think my psychology degree is great for all the same reasons that Anthony just mentioned. There's so many slime balls in our business, honestly. And I love proving kind of the stigmas around what we do wrong and making those relationships and being honest. I'll tell you if it's a good decision, if it's a bad decision. I've even turned clients away because I don't think I have the best option for them.
That's great
So
to hear.
I'd love to work with people. You get to make people's dreams come true every day. Meet some cool cats like Anthony, I guess, and
be on some cool podcasts.
be on some cool podcasts. Yeah.
Saying that, you've gone into bankruptcy. Can you come back from it and still succeed?
Oh, hell yes. I'm sorry, but people have like, I'm not going to file a consumer proposal. I'm not going to file a consumer proposal. I'm like, listen, dude, how long do you think it's going to take you to solve this problem yourself? They're like, well, I don't know. 10,
You'll never catch
20
up.
years.
The
I'm
interest
like,
rates
exactly.
are too high.
So he's like, but my credit will suck. I'm like, your credit already sucks, man. So I'm like, take the bankruptcy.
you.
Now you're on track for 6-7 years and you're back. Boom. That's it.
There's so many people that have come back or were rich, then went bankrupt, and all of a sudden they're rich again.
Donald Trump.
Oh, I was thinking that, but I was thinking that, but I
I'll
thought,
be
I don't know.
editing
Don
that out.
Cherry.
I'll be
Say
editing
it.
that out.
Okay, anyways, guys, we're going to have you back another
No,
time.
hang on, we're not completely
because
done yet, but I have
if-
one last question, and I'll get right to it instead of a whole story. Are there more bad
Yes.
real estate agents, and same thing with brokers?
Oh, definitely.
Everybody's shot. Like you have like more than 50%. Just
Oh my
care about
God.
screwing you over and just get the sale done, and
There's
that's
They
it.
big-
just want the money.
Let's
Really?
be honest.
More
there-
than 50%?
There's big checks in what we do. So it's appealing to people to just snatch a deal any way that
Just
they can.
take the money.
Oh
and
my
run.
God, that was a brilliant question. What do you look for in a real estate agent? That's
Experience.
like what do you actually look for so you don't get taken?
Honestly, you really need to work that agent. You don't want to just choose someone just for the hell of
Your
just
buddy?
for the sake
And
of,
a friend of a friend.
Never
yeah,
do
everybody
business
has
with-
a license.
Who
Like,
cares about that?
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Everybody's
the
like,
same thing that
"Oh,
you
What-
said about the contractor.
I have a buddy who does it. I'm like, great. Like, does your
So what
buddy
do you
also
look
has a
for?
full-time job somewhere else? And
What do you look for? You look
I
for the
feel like-
nice car. Do you look for the
No,
beautiful
no.
suit?
No, there's tons of people who have nice cars and have no money in their bank.
First thing for me,
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you're understanding the whole buying or selling process.
Mm-hmm.
If your realtor is not explaining that right off the bat,
A to Z.
you're like there's form 801. Okay, it explains black and white the difference between a client and a customer. If they're not showing you that form first off, and they're not explaining,
I've
to
never
you,
seen that form.
never,
That's a red flag. I've seen that.
Yeah.
That's a red flag.
You if they're not telling you, you want me to be, you want to be a client and not just a paper pushing customer, right? Then that's red flag number one, to me.
You know you can buy red flags on Amazon, eh?
I just
99 cents a bundle.
I got a little bit of time on my side. So I want to thank you guys. Thank you very much. It was a very, very educational podcast, by the way. Very
This is one of
civil
my
one.
favorite.
Very civil one, regardless of dildo and all these other words that were expressed on this show. Anthony, thank you very much. We're not done yet.
We're not definitely done
We are
because
not
we
done
have-
yet. No, hang on. You can find Anthony. Reach out to him on IG, the Caputo Group .real estate. That's CAPUTO Group. www.thecaputogroup.ca. Your email is anthony@thecaputogroup.ca, and your phone number is 416-938-7771. He's going to be your agent. Just understand that. And the lovely Michelle here, you can rattle off your numbers here.
At MLFARRUGIA or cognitive.capital on Instagram. And you can reach me on my cell phone at 647-355-1823.
Don't forget her hotline, 1-800.
I knew it was
Dun,
coming.
dun. If you get Anthony, you get me, and vice versa. Really, we're like a team. So
Dun, dun, dun.
Dum, dum, dum.
So our final segment
is the 10 questions.
Okay, so you guys probably don't know. I used to watch this show in my youth, actually, probably when your age. James Limpton had a show called Inside the Actor Studio, where he would question these actors and directors and producers, these 10 questions at the end of the show, just to get a little insight on these people. I converted into more construction-related questions. Okay, so we'll go one by one, right? We'll begin with Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite construction word?
putty.
Wow.
Anthony?
Beam.
Beam.
Wow.
Beam.
Mr. Open Concept over here.
What is your least favorite construction word?
Wood.
You don't like wood.
I don't like wood.
Well, this is a
Ladies.
really
Wood.
sad podcast today, guys.
Wood. Anthony, what is your least favorite construction word?
Pay up.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's actually 2 words, but whatever.
What turns you on in construction?
Wood.
She hates it, but she loves it.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Anthony, what turns you on in construction?
My seat just went down, by the way.
I don't even know where to go with that. Least favorite? I'm looking at your wall of...
No, what turns you on?
turns me on?
Yeah, what turns you on in construction?
One word or in general?
Just in general.
I love seeing a woman in a tool belt.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Excellent.
turns you
Good for
off in
you.
construction? You can't say wood now.
Oh,
We're getting to that one. Don't worry.
a lazy construction worker.
Well, well.
Anthony, what turns you off in construction?
Someone who can't ride a 959
5'9".
Ducati that's in the room right now.
Oh.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
Really?
Not very creative, huh?
It's not.
You like wood, but you hate fuck.
No, he said my favorite.
No, your favorite
Oh,
curse word.
favorite.
Your favorite curse word.
Honestly, it's cunt, but I feel like you can't say that
No,
here.
you can't.
No, we've already
can.
shared
We're
it.
very open-minded
Okay.
here.
Yeah, we're
You're not the first to say that one.
So, what are you sticking with? Fuck or cunt?
It's cunt.
fuck again.
It's a good thing we don't have a broadcaster. And so, Anthony, what is your favorite curse word?
Fuck. It really is.
What construction?
What the fuck?
Did you see how passionate he was
Yeah,
about
he
that? That it really fucking is.
Shut the fuck up.
What construction sound or noise do you love?
A hammer.
What construction sound or
Wood
noise do you
hammer.
love, Anthony?
I'm so glad you're here, Michelle.
This should be interesting.
Michelle likes to hammer wood.
Oh my god.
No, don't say it.
I'm gonna punch you out, man.
Just remember the joint.
Yeah.
Remember the joint.
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
That's Joe Rogan's podcast, by the way. Okay.
No, this is going to put us right up in there.
Before I came, I'm like, I need a cigar, and where is my
Wow, you're so right.
cognac? Next time.
What construction sound or noise do you love?
I'll just go with a grinder.
Rat.
That is a nice sound.
Yeah.
What construction sound or noise do you hate?
I don't know what it's called when they.
Jackhammer.
There we go.
Oh my.
Everyone hates that. I was gonna say
You
the
would
same-
Same
you would
thing?
love this after the podcast subconsciously. It's crazy.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Other than my own, oh my god, I want to be a NASCAR driver.
Wow.
Formula One.
Holy cow. We
What
got two racers
profession
over here?
What profession would you not like to do?
I would absolutely hate to be like a nurse or something. I
Well-
thank you to the nurses for sure, but I just couldn't stomach that. I don't think.
Lawyer.
Oh, I would love that.
No.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Fuck! Finally, you're here.
Anthony?
You did good, kid. You did
Wow.
Nice.
A little Frank Sinatra over here, huh?
Guys, thank you very much for a very interesting podcast. Thank you. Honestly, really appreciate you guys coming out here and
Thank
joining
you
the
for
show.
having us.
So you can find Anthony again at the CaputtoGroup.realestate on IG, thecaputogroup.ca, Anthony at thecaputogroup.ca, 416-938-7771, and Michelle.
At MLFARRUGIA
That is her
or
private one. And then the business one.
cognitive.capital. And my cell phone number hotline is 647-355-1823.
You're going to get in so much trouble. So much
Michelle
trouble.
likes long walks on the beach.
So
With her,
much
with her small pussy cat.
And there will be a
And
video
long
attached to
wood.
this podcast for everyone listening. And I'm talking to you, Christian and Dustin. All right.
I'm not even
so,
joking. This might be one of my favorite ones.
Carlito, get us out of here. Thank you guys so much again. Please reach out to them. They got a lot of advice to share, and they want to help you, okay? And we hope that you guys will reach out to them. And thank you so much for listening. This was number 87, and we got to get out of here, Carlito.
416-TO, baby. Out of here.
Awesome.
Real estate.